On the island of Moontide, there was a girl who became a ghost story, and a boy who became a monster. The girl and the boy had lived at Tempest, an old stone house built precariously close to the raging sea. It was rumoured the master of Tempest had gone mad and isolated himself. Some claimed to have seen the secretive housekeeper walking back from town with supplies enough for guests. Fewer admitted in hushed tones to seeing the ghostly figures of the girl and the boy darting hand in hand across the moors as they had in life. To see them was a bad omen and a curse. Moontide had been cursed for centuries before the girl and the boy existed. The fishing village was once known for clear, grey-green waters, plentiful fishing and calm weather. Those gifts had been attributed to the favour of the deep dwellers, the benevolent old gods of the sea. In return for those gifts, villagers had worshipped the deep dwellers and left heaps of treasures at altars for the gods to hoard in their grand palaces under the waves. A chosen few villagers had brought their fairest daughters, wreathed in flowers for the gods to spirit away to their world to be merry brides. As long as the residents had performed these rites, Moontide was blessed. Over time, settlers had arrived to the small island. New gods were worshipped, and the deep dweller altars were abandoned, crumbling away eventually. The fishers and sailors charted the tides and currents and believed they no longer needed the old gods' blessings to brave the ocean. A curse fell on the traitorous village for their heresy. Storms thundered. Tides rose and sank houses. Swimmers were lost to undertows and whirlpools, and fishermen struggled to find a single healthy fish in their nets. As the years went on, only the older generations knew the truth of the curse, while the new ignored the warnings. They believed the sea had merely always been rough and unforgiving. The lack of fish was due to pollution from industrialized islands. The stone altars were but a reminder of the silly superstitions of the villagers' ancestors. The deep dwellers were nearly forgotten, and their existence turned into folklore. There were still some who kept the old rites in hopes of breaking the curse. At Tempest, the girl had known of the deep dwellers. Her mother had loved to tell her the stories of the marvellous old gods from the deep, told to her by her own mother. Though she had known every story by heart, she had not known for certain if magic was real. However, she had been determined to find out. The girl. Pearl Earton did not believe in ghosts. She only believed in what she could see and feel, and she had never seen a spirit before. What happened that night had almost convinced her otherwise. A door creaked open and slammed shut in the hall outside her room. She woke and sat up in bed, gasping. The full moon cast a silken pool on the floor from the open window. A warm summer breeze knocked the unlatched casement window against the outer wall. For a few moments, there was only silence. Perhaps the wind had awoken her. Then came the sound of a stiff cotton nightgown rustling, the slow, unsteady padding of bare feet, and the creaking of the wooden floor beneath them. "Alma," she called. If the housemaid was outside, she would answer. As skittish as a barn cat, Alma was 5 years older than Pearl, who was 10, and she was still frightened of the dark. Alma believed, as most of Moontides did, that Tempest was haunted.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.